Nope, nothing. That's always what happens. But he'll still be on Telegram and still be on Twitter. And for the next 3 years, no matter what we accomplish and do, he will forever believe we're an illegitimate, bad project. It's ego. It's emotion. You know, you ask yourself, why do we have protesters in the streets? Why do we have so many people so angry? Why do we have people that can't talk to each other? They talk past each other. Because people are incapable of listening. People are incapable of having a conversation anymore. I've made a decision based on a very thin sliver of information. And then I'm going to go with that thin sliver of information and immediately infer value judgments about everything else in the world, whether medicine works or not, whether a person's a good person or a bad person, whether a company's a good company or a bad company, whether a politician's a good person or a bad person, whatever it might be, even family members, even relationships, thin sliver. And then for the rest of time, I have to hold that opinion. And if I violate that opinion somehow, no, I just can't do that. This is why we're in so many problems. Why do I get so caught up on this, guys? Because this only works. Cryptocurrencies only works if you work. It's not about me. It's never been about me. It's not about great leadership. It's not about finding somebody on the mountaintop to deliver you and tell you what to do. The whole point of what we construct as technology, the whole point of how we build stuff is that one day you're in charge completely of your identity, of your vote, of your money, of all these things. And suddenly you actually have to think things through. You have to be able to handle the new cognitive overhead. The fact that all that stuff that was taken care of for you by banks and governments and third parties who said, I'll just take care of it, don't worry. You're in charge of that now. Now, for me, that's great because it liberates me from the insanity that I live in today. This madness where every single thing is regulated to death. There's doublespeak going on. Science has become highly politicized. We have the woke virus now. It's okay to protest for one thing, but you can't protest for the other thing. You won't get a virus if you do that, but you'll get a virus if you do this. It's madness out there. And I think the only antidote is a return to objectivity. The only antidote is to remove human beings from the operation of the systems and let the edges be able to decide. Because I'm ultimately an optimist. I have faith in people. I believe you eventually can rise to the occasion. If you're not treated like children, you're treated like adults and given enough respect for somebody to say, you actually deserve the right to decide for yourself. It's a very libertarian principle, and it's how my country was founded. During that time period in the 18th century, everybody just thought it was preposterous to let the masses run things. They say, oh, no, we have to have privileged betters running things, the divine right of kings, the right of nobility, the good breeding, the good bloodlines. They believe this. They said, if you let the serfs, the unwashed masses, do things, run things, vote, outside of very limited whatever we have to give them to prevent them from rebelling, within 10 years, the whole thing will fall apart. And suddenly we created a government out of nowhere on the back of a revolution that said, no, everybody's equal. Everybody has rights. Everybody should have the ability to express themselves. And yes, someone may elevate to a president, but after they leave office, they're just like everybody else. That was a unique experiment. And then similarly, when we talk about cryptocurrencies, we're doing it all over again. We're treating you like adults and saying it's okay for you to be in control of your identity, your privacy, your money, these types of things. Guys, it won't work. It won't work if you can't think. It won't work if you just live in thin sliver land, and the minute that you see something that you don't like, you have a knee-jerk reaction, take your toys, go home, and set everything on fire, and call every single person who disagrees with you evil, or misguided, or a scammer. Okay? It's a fundamental truth, and the more you realize it, the further along we'll get.